Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why movement is so important when it comes to Warzone and Call of Duty in general. And this isn't a new concept. Pro players have been taking advantage of these different mechanics for years, even when they play on LAN. Obviously, when you take things into an online environment, whether or not your latency is high or low plays an impact, as well as the difference between those two values. The game's going to try and do its best to try and make what you're seeing on screen match what the enemy player is seeing on their screen. But at the end of the day, there's a limitation on how much the game can keep up. And you don't really notice this as much in other games, even though it is a real thing. And it ends up being a bigger problem in Call of Duty than other games, just because Call of Duty is all about movement. And a lot of these first-person shooters just do not have the level of movement that COD is geared towards. And that allows for these abusive mechanics. So if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, please do me a favor, hit that like button. Goal on today's video is 6,500 likes, so hopefully you guys can help me crush that number. If you're brand new looking to find your way back for more Call of Duty content, just double check, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Also, just a heads up, I'm probably going to be tweeting about it today, but Gamer Advantage has partnered with me, so now I have my own special code that I guess they saw that I was wearing glasses all the time. They're like, hey, you need some blue light glasses? Hit me up. I've been wearing these for about a week now. Just kind of see what they're all about before I agreed to partner with them. They've been fine. I've been rocking them. They're comfortable. Let's go ahead and get into a few examples. So the first example we're going to look at is from a private custom match, basically with a lot of top players thrown in, about 150 of them, kind of head to head. This is a gulag between Aiden and Spiros. What you're going to see is kind of how it plays out, and look at the big difference. Looking at first glance, you can see that Aiden has about 82 ping, and then we have latency of 74 for Spiros. We're going to kind of see how this individually clip plays out. So it plays out. You're going to see it synced up. They are synced up to the 100th of a millisecond. So within 100 milliseconds there. So it's definitely hard to sync stuff up. It could be a little bit better.
Have enough for us? Do you guys have enough?
Comes. No, what? How did that not blow?
So obviously it's ideal when the clock gets that low, because then it's easier to sync stuff up that way. But what we're going to do is look up here, and what you're going to see is when Spiros can start to see Aiden on his screen, what you're going to do is look at here. So you can see that there's a sliver of Aiden's head that comes out from his rose skin. And then on Spiros, he's not even visible yet on the top screen until about here. You can kind of see like a portion of a jacket sticking out there. If we go out, you can see the jacket kind of poof out. So don't wear the jacket. It's going to get you caught. People are going to be able to see you a couple 100 milliseconds or maybe 25 milliseconds before you can see them. So Aiden's on there, and Spiros is already on the ground shooting. And look at, you can see when see it registers right here, boom, and it's already over. So obviously, it's hard to say on a neutral playing field. Even on land, these things exist. That's why you see a lot of the top players, they're constantly slide canceling. It's not just about getting around the map faster. That's obviously one component, but there's a lot to it. Snaking's been around for a while, where you kind of go up and down in a head glitch. It used to be way worse, where you're able to move around the map and kind of do this weird movement. And on the player's screen, it does not match up what the enemy player sees. So it creates a huge desync. Sometimes often referred to as cameraing, that they use this kind of technique where they maybe go into a room, they jump in. There's different elements to it. It's way more nuanced than that. I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible, so you understand that advanced movement and movement in general can be your best friend, and it generally favors the aggressor, especially with the way that the matchmaking and stuff works now. No, it's not peer-to-peer, so it's not like the host always has the advantage. It doesn't necessarily work that way with their lag comp algorithm. So we'll just move on to the next one. This one is Juki's versus Yeet. And we're going to look at here is on the screen, Juki's has like 170 ping, 180, and then Yeet has 70 ping. So you would think, you know what? Yeet has the advantage. He should have the advantage at all times because he has lower ping. Doesn't always work out that way. We're going to see here is on Juki's screen at the top, you can see the character model elbow sticking through. Then we go a couple, and then you kind of see about maybe right here, you can see there's a little bit of that, and that's just the cloth from the jacket sticking through. And then we can kind of see it continue on. He shoots first because he saw him first. He was able to react, but it was a little too late, and he loses the gunfight, only landing like a bullet on Juki's. Well, no, maybe 2 bullets, because that's like 55 damage or something like that. I think it does 28, so maybe like 56 damage at that point. And that's pretty much, boom. He got landed two chest shots or whatever. And that's pretty much it, right? He ended up getting that gunfight. Now we'll look at this one, and then we'll go ahead and look at another in-game example, maybe even for Cold War, to see that this isn't a new phenomenon. So we'll come through. Kill cams are also broken. I know True Game Data did a video covering that. I planned to do the concept, but he already beat me to it, so I never ended up making the video. He does have a great video on that if you want to go check it out. So pretty much what we're looking at here is a final 1v1, final seconds. There's 29 seconds on the clock. This is synced to the 10th of a second, so obviously it could be more accurate, but that's kind of as close as we can get with this, and it ends up being relatively close. Obviously, you know, these guys would all have to record and play and stream at high frame rates to get exact. Even on land, Drifter did a video about this in World War II, so it's not a new thing. But I did want to show that there's a drastic difference in what a player sees on both screens, and we're going to see it pretty much here as well. So you can see Shaded's already jumping off the building. His feet have already hit the ground. But look at on Frozone's screen, you can still see the character model there. So maybe if it was synced properly, maybe he wouldn't have actually seen where he went. He wouldn't have seen where he landed. So he mantles over, comes through. The bullets pretty much register, like they get downed in the exact same frame. So right here, boom, he's downed. The thing pops up. It's like about a frame, like a half a frame difference. Comes through, he wins the gunfight, thirsts him. The vehicle blows up at the exact same time. Like you could even see it all happens at the same time. But yet there's a desync between the character model because the game is trying to keep up and the characters just move too dang fast compared to other games. So that's pretty straightforward there. Let's look at one example from Cold War. And you can kind of see it there. And here's the example I wanted to do. This is actually Cold War with my buddy Earl. I was the host. I had 10 ping, as it says server latency, and we have these synced up. I synced them up right as the match started, so everything lines up, and nothing's edited. This is the same exact thing. But what you're going to notice is as he comes around, look at how much he sees me before I see him. So he comes through, he sees me right here. Look at that full character model on the bottom, and look at the top, nothing. Then he barely sees me. And then we'll go ahead and repeat it again. I zoom forward just so we can see it from the other perspective. He comes out. It ends up being crazy broken when he actually tries to kill. You can see him. He comes around. Boom. He gets the kill. Then once I spawn in, we go ahead and check it out again. We'll move over here. And this is still synced the exact same. So in reality, he should see me way before I see him, if it was just desynced to the video, right? But it doesn't work out that way. We do the same thing. And I do see him before he sees me. He sees the tip of the gun, but I literally see his entire character model. Which doesn't make sense because I saw him like he saw me like 4 or 5 frames before I saw him. There's no way that I should be able to see him. It's just how the game works. The cameras are not perfect. The cameras are broken. The cameras do not work the way you think they do. And that's why usually the peeker has the advantage. It gives you the chance to react first and see the person first. And that's just kind of generally how it goes. Unfortunately, the game cannot keep up with how fast the character model moves. Obviously, they've tried to slow things down since Jetpack CODs, where it was incredible. If you were a rusher in that game, you were literally breaking the game completely. And that's what made it very hard for lower skilled players, because they couldn't keep up. And that's generally why they got upset by it. Obviously, when Jetpack, that's a whole nother side note. Hopefully this explains a little bit of why advanced movement is so important in terms of being able to jump out bunny hop, to slide cancel, and be aware of how you're moving into an environment where you can actually get the jump on someone. And a lot of times that's why if you know where somebody's at and they're camping, you're kind of in a bad spot if you're camping and they know where you're at, because they're going to just exploit this. They're going to jump in. They're going to know exactly where you're at. They're going to start firing at you. By the time you realize they're in the door reacting, it's going to catch you off guard. And obviously, it's not always perfect because it's an online environment, but that's kind of just how it goes. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy the video, learn something new. If you did, please do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're brand new, want to find your way back Double check, make sure you subscribe with notifications on. Appreciate y'all supporting the channel. Thank you for watching as always. Have a great day.